We're going to be showing off 8.0 features we're working on, getting ready for that. So great to have you all joining us. So we'll be checking out chat in YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So feel free to ask us questions and we'll answer them as we go. So to my left is Walker, programmer
Hello.
on Eco, is going to be playing and showing the new features. And Keegan, as everybody knows, is our artist on Eco and has been making some really awesome new biomes. And I'm John Kay. I'm a designer in Eco and going to be talking about some pipes features I've been working on and other cool stuff. So yeah, why don't we take a look at these pipes you're showing. So this is, let me show the other ones behind. This is the new pipe features we've added to 8.0. So the idea with this is that plumbing is going to be a new feature of the game. It's going to be this kind of community project that you need to do with other people in your village to set up access to water and taking away wastes from your crafting projects, from your like home items. So this is a debug thing we've spawned in here, but these are what the pipes look like. And they're mechanically powered, so they will take from a water source, which right now I've just spawned some water here to make it easy to view. And they'll be taken up into the pump and then pushed into the pump network. So you can see these pumps here are supplying water to a series of houses. So here you can see the pipes go underground and they come up inside of this workshop. I'm gonna have to fly to get in there. So we're still setting up a lot of this, so some of this is debug, but right now we just have a test workbench that's rigged up to take water. And if you open up that workbench, here's our little test recipe where you can see that it needs 300 water blocks and it's slowly going up. So if you click the pipes component there, you can see if you mouse over this, it tells you that water is incoming from these different pumps. And if you mouse over the other one, you see that it's outputting waste at this particular rate. So pretty much anything that takes water is also going to generate wastewater, which becomes sewage, and that will pollute your environment. But you can deal with it in different ways also. So if you want to fly through a little more, Walker, we can show. So this same pump network, actually, if you want to fly underground, you can kind of see the plumbing under there. Yeah, so all the plumbing has been rigged underground. So this will be a big like community project where you have the central water source and you need to like bring pipes to all your buildings, collaborate with each other, figure out property rights for these kind of things can be tricky. So yeah, it's something that's like a very collaborative feature. So we spawned 4 houses here. They're all taking water from the same plumbing source and all outputting the same sewage line. So this sewage line here is going off. So there's the 4th one, and then it goes off to this water filter. So this is a water filter here. And this is kind of a late tier thing. So in the beginnings, you basically just have to pump your sewage somewhere and accept that it's going to pollute it. But as you start getting these filters, you can start filtering this water. So if you open that up, you can see that this one is opposite. Its input is sewage, and its output is water. If you go to the status tab, so the way this works is as it's accepting water, as it accepts sewage, it'll start creating compost blocks at a certain rate. So every few seconds another compost block gets generated. And those are stuck into this stockpile. So right now we don't have art for those yet, something Keegan's looking at. So they just look like crates. But if you open up that stockpile, so these ones that are templated, you can see are the compost blocks that are being generated from the wastewater. So you're kind of taking this waste product and turning it into something that you'll be able to use for like farming and fertilizer. So that's another thing that you can kind of omit the filtering step and it'll just end up creating a lot of pollution in your environment. But you can also do these extra kind of community projects that will turn it into a positive. So yeah, it's a quick look at pipes. Eric says to turn on reflections. So Keegan, do you want to talk a little bit about the latest biome stuff? Maybe do some fly arounds, Walker?
Sure. Yeah, I can talk a bit about that. We've just finally gotten most of our new rock types implemented in the game. A lot of them are still going to be in progress for this first 8.0 patch, but I think people will be pretty excited to see some of the ones that are more fleshed out to start, like Limestone. So yeah, we've added a whole new slew of rock types. We've added sandstone, limestone are the two ones that are sort of closest to done. And then we've also added, so granite is the other main default, most common rock type that's going to be throughout the world. But we're also going to be having basalt, which I believe that's, I think that might be what Walker's looking at, or it's probably just dark, it's probably granite. There was some limestone over there to your right there. Yeah, there's a little patch of it there. There's also some sandstone next to it. Right here is probably a border between biomes, which I can use to talk about the fact that lots of different rock types will be sort of more or less prevalent based on the biome type. So I tried to, in general, sort of associate different rock types with their depositional environments. So like there's more sandstone in the desert because that's where the sand is. Same with the beaches. And limestone, which pretty much, in eco anyways, tends to form mostly from marine organisms, is all going to be located around the coast, with some exceptions. And yeah, you should fly around more and see if you can find any big outcrops of something other than granite. Or maybe go to a desert if you can find one of those. Oh yeah, looks like you're
in the opposite direction.
Yeah, there you go. And so one of the other things is the rock types will also be cool the more we do with expanding them as mineral resources in the game, because each rock source is going to be kind of like a host for different resources, or each rock block rather. So as you can see there's sandstone, and then there's also that more darkly banded sandstone, and that's actually the new iron ore. So iron ore is now going to be gotten pretty much exclusively for now from sandstone. In the real world, something like 60% of iron ore comes from a thing called banded iron formation, which is all a sedimentary deposit from a sort of a one-time event in Earth's history that happened over a few million years. So a lot of the stuff we're adding with the geology and eco is inspired by real life, just like the biomes are inspired by a lot of North, Central, and South American biomes that exist in reality. So it's going to add a lot to the richness of the world to have these new rock types as places where you have more localized resources, both localized more to the biomes and also more physically localized within, even just individual outcrops and things like that, having sort of certain deposits contained within them. So, yeah, right now the granite is going to be the host to gold and copper to start. As we go, we can add more types of ore deposits in different kinds of locations and create. I think the funnest and coolest thing will be that the more things we have like this, the more really cool associations we can create. There's like obvious things like sand and sandstone, putting the sandstone in the desert, but there's a lot more subtle things that can really make the world feel more interesting and rich, and sort of also, hopefully inspire people to learn about some of the really fascinating complexity in real life geology and things like that. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun to start implementing this stuff.
Are we able to break those yet?
You should be able to, yeah.
Yep, you can break them. We don't have all the art assets in yet. So icon's still a template.
Oh yeah.
Building crates.
Yeah, I guess the carried art isn't done yet. Oh yeah.
Reflection.
Real-time reflections. Can you increase the view distance at all, or would that make it too laggy? Or not?
There we go.
It's pretty.
So yeah, there's the desert is probably there's pretty much all the biomes are going to be having new plants and things added to them. And,
Can we chop down cactuses yet?
Yeah, pretty sure we always
So-
could.
Oh
Awesome.
man, yeah.
Looks cool.
Yeah, so the desert is only hasn't really been touched as much as a lot of the other biomes has for this patch. That's going to be something that we're going to continue working on in the forthcoming patches.
So those will give
But-
you wood as well, cactuses.
I mean, cactuses should give you some kind of wood product. You know, the ribs of the saguaro are kind of hard wood-like things.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, I think they just give you logs. Yeah, that's something that's been in the game for quite a while. We haven't looked at that in a while. I think you did see some bighorn sheep in the distance there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's one. So this is a new animal in 8.0, a bighorn sheep, and it's cool. The sandstone in the game right now, and also this bighorn sheep are inspired by the southwest parts of the United States. So last year I took a trip to Zion. My girlfriend was working as a park ranger in Zion National Park. And when I was there, I saw bighorn sheep and just these incredible sandstone cliffs. So that's kind of where some of the real life inspiration is coming from.
Good, I'm just chilling out there.
Do we have any chat questions?
Oh yeah, we got new fog. If you want to go find a forest, I can show that.
I believe we were just in one, so let's see. There we go. And then
Pretty. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I've got some new volumetric fog.
So Industrial Bass is asking, any guess on the 8.0 release date? We are not confirming any date yet publicly. We are working for a date, so hopefully we'll be able to set something soon. Someone else, can you use the pipe system for fountains or alternative to the aqueduct? Actually, you can. Oh, if you go back to the pipes walker, if you want to show our little debug section over there. So here's just one of the tests that we spawn with pipes, where pipes will spray out water, and you can see they actually spawn blocks, which looks a little funny the way blocks are right now. But if you go over to that pump and turn it off by just right-click it, and now you watch that the water will actually go away. And if you turn it back on, it'll go off. So you can have different kind of water displays or things like that. This could feed into an aqueduct, perhaps. Actually, let's show what happens if you don't filter your water. So if you fly over to the water filter over there,
and shut her off.
yeah, or actually don't shut it off, but like break one of the pipes.
No, sweet.
Not this one. The next. Keep going. One thing we want to have is like you can have leaks in the game. So yeah, go ahead and delete that. Whoa. So now you can see this thing is spewing out sewage into the ecosystem, and over time you'll see the effect that has on the environment. So we'll check back as we're streaming to see what that does. Someone asked, Industrial Bass asks, can you pump water out of a room or say an underwater cavern? So not currently. So water just is taken from infinite sources like rivers, and then you can bring it to other places basically and use it in crafting. Long term though, that is something I'd like to do. Can't wait to start a sewer company. Yes, we should hook this up to the economy where like you have to pay in order to have it.
Probably all the way. Yeah.
All the way?
No, probably not all the way. I'm just saying. But, yeah.
Okay.
That should make a difference.
So yeah, over time that'll just bust things up. Yeah, let's just take a look at the new biomes. Just want to cruise around and
All right.
show some of the new rivers too.
Looks like we got a river directly to the left.
Do you know if this is a 1 kilometer one?
I think so.
I didn't change the configs at all, so it's whatever the default was on here.
Any way to use water for irrigation? Albert Kuhn asks. Yep, water works the same way. So if you piped water to a location and just had it dumping out into the ground, it would change the soil moisture level and change what you can grow there. So you can definitely use that for irrigation the same way. Industrial Basque, odd question, is there a way in the game to make toll roads? Not yet, but that is definitely something we're going to add. We actually have a toll object that's kind of a test object in there now. But yeah, that's gonna be a future release. There's all kinds of switches and things like that that can be connected to the economy.
Do you want me to fly around for a little bit, Walker?
Yeah, that's what we do.
See it.
Is the reverse of irrigation drainage possible? No, we don't have drainage currently. Eventually, but not for the 8.0 release. So you can see our new riverbeds now. We used to be only canyons in the game, but now we have these kind of flat riverbeds. So you'll have a kind of a more realistic look to the rivers. Yeah, turn the view distance down. I don't think we need it that high. I don't think it updates till you move around.
Right. Let's see.
Is there any plan for a steam tiered excavation tool, say a steam shovel? Not currently. We have the excavator is the main one. We do want to eventually add more vehicles. So that could be something on the horizon.
Yeah, I've got lots of ideas about mining tools and processing especially.
Just turn off the fog. I think it's killing the...
Yeah, we might be...
Maybe global illumination, maybe.
Yeah.
No, it's better.
It's yeah. Here's some little patches of limestone on the river, and there should be, so this is the coast, and this is where limestone is the most common. And limestone will be used for a lot of things in the game. You'll need it to make cement, and you'll also need limestone when you're operating a blast furnace. Use it as a flux, basically, to mix with your other components when you're creating steel. So it'll be an important stone industrially, and it'll also be one of the stones that you can build buildings out of as well. We'll have different versions of mortared stone. To start, it'll be fairly rudimentary how they're being implemented into the builder system, but as we go, that's something that I'm always looking forward to the next time I get to improve and update.
Enough GI.
Speaking of mining, is there any change to tailing pollution mechanics or ability to recycle it?
That's something that's very high on our list of things we know is really not great with the game right now, that we absolutely intend to change. I don't think it's going to be changed in 8.0, but a lot of the stuff with all of these improvements to the natural resources, the next obvious step is going to be how do we improve players' experiences, processing and using those resources. So it's definitely in the future.
Skeeve asks, have you considered adding better hand tools like a hand drill, etc.? We have added a chainsaw, so that's kind of our first in the upgraded, it's an upgraded axe basically. It would be great to have other kind of similar things and other tools. But kind of as we're in early access, we're filling out all the different systems. And then as we reach the end of that, and probably past 1.0, we'll keep adding new entries in those systems. So we'll have like new types of tools, new vehicles, filling in those gaps. Are there going to be any more animals other than bighorn sheep added?
Yeah. So in 8.0, there's also going to be a mule deer, which I just saw there, but it was across the ocean. There will also be mountain goats. So mountain goats will live in the tundra. Mule deer is a interesting one, I think, for the game that will eventually sort of have interesting consequences because, so far in the game there's been elk, and elk are a useful food source. But I think with the deer, the thing we really wanted to get at was a species that can sort of behave a little bit more like a pest, like something that can reproduce very quickly, and that if things get out of whack, you might end up with way too many deer, and you actually have to, species that are more likely to cause players to have to make choices about, do we need to start culling the deer, do we need to start doing X with regard to species. So I think deer is actually an exciting one for Eco to finally get in. That'll also make it so elk are a little bit less common.
So it's the jungle biome you're checking out?
Yeah. Right now, this is the rainforest biome. In some ways, you'd probably more accurately describe it right now as like a tropical wetlands, because right now we don't have the main rainforest tree in yet. That'll hopefully be coming in 8.1 or 8.2, which will really give the rainforest its primary character. The palms are a fun tree that I think I'm really glad that we have, just to get that variation in the game. But yeah.
Someone says need sloths.
Sloths. Well, here's an otter, but yeah, a sloth would be great. Yeah, rainforest. We have animals slated
the otter
for the rainforest as well. But they're not going to be in with 8.0, but they're on the list. So let's see. There's some papayas.
Oh yeah, we need some new fruit trees.
Delicious papayas. So I fly around with my.
Do you have any news for the design of the new skill system? We're hard at work getting that in. That's definitely going to be a new part of 8.0. So we're kind of adding all the extra features to it, like new icons and things like that. Probably show that in a future stream. But for those who haven't heard, the new skill system is going to work a little differently in that you will gain experience while you're doing stuff, and that will be multiplied by your food and shelter rate. So your food and shelter rate will continuously apply to getting new specialties, which you then unlock. And from there, you level up those specialties by taking actions, by crafting things, by gathering or processing resources, working in the world, basically. And the idea behind this is that it reduces the decisions you're making about skills to choosing your specialties, as well as talents. So as you upgrade, you get to choose between two kind of special benefits you get. So this is something we'll hopefully show in the next stream.
Saw a mountain goat over here, so I'm going into the long lens mode. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, here's a mountain goat walking through the
Just chilling
tundra and taiga biome.
Oh, he's climbing the mountain.
Yep, there he goes. Oh, never mind. Decided against it. Who wants to climb a mountain when you can hang out and eat moss?
He's a handsome fellow. I know that arrows will actually bounce off his horns if you hit his horns.
I believe that's the bighorn sheep. I think mountain goats are not quite that skilled yet. They have to learn from their cousins.
He's checking it out. I showed the new moss. That stuff looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, there's some new moss we have. Sort of sways in the wind a little bit.
New flowers there too.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eco, the 8.0 is going to be a very different experience. Like right in the current release version, we don't have a lot of variety in the biomes, but now every location is going to feel very different from the others. You have the like tropical versus cold forest versus tundra. So you just have much more of a sense of place in those. And gameplay wise, it's going to make a big difference because certain types of resources are only going to be found in some biomes. So if you set up a village in the jungle, for example, you might have to travel to like a tundra region in order to get some other oil or whatever resource we have there.
Yep, we do have one resource that's very somewhat exclusive to the tundra and taiga, and I'll let people discover what that is.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the big idea is, we really want different places to have different resources and just create more complexity in decision making and setting up your settlement and coming up with your transport network. And
Yeah, so building transport networks to all these different locations will be, an even more important part of the game, is that you can't do everything from a single location. You'll need to have resources coming in and out. Oh, there's a mule deer.
Yep, there's a mule deer, and here's a redwood as well. And then new trees.
Do the trees have unique kind of woods? Does it equal new wood types and thus new types of furniture?
Not right now. That's something that I can imagine we'd be interested in adding. Not for now.
Yeah, I want like a rich mahogany dresser.
Yeah, I think I would say my general excitement and philosophy is that when we've sort of run through these biomes patches, we'll be in a really good spot to just look at all of the natural resources that are in the game and really start retailoring and improving everything that you're getting from them, because we'll have the whole base things that are available down. So it'll allow us to know what is available and have a much better ability to scope out what can we make. What kind of products can people make from all these resources that we have now in the game? So getting them in will be a really cool step, I think, for the project, because it'll allow us to really start making players, experience richer with getting stuff from the world.
Pumpkins are there.
Oh yeah, there's a pumpkin here.
Some new kinds of vegetables and other things you can eat. So all the species we added Keegan chose them for reasons they affect humans in some way, so they give resources. Yeah,
or either that, or they're important in the ecosystem, sort of the basic food webs that I was trying to consider when I'm setting up when I'm picking stuff for a biome. I want each species to play a role in the biome, and ideally, and wherever possible, I always try and pick things that are also directly useful to people.
All trees have seeds.
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Yes, we did finally revamp the way that you get seeds from trees. I could see if it's in this build. So now, instead of attacking the foliage with your axe to get the seeds, you get the seeds from the debris of the tree. And I don't know if I've cut down a redwood ever, so this could be dangerous. We'll try it out. Oh yeah, I have the master axe here. So certainly made some noise.
Nice Christmas tree.
Let's see. So I just destroyed that. So you can see in the debris here. Maybe if I push this log off the edge, you can see there's actually little pine cones in here in the debris. And so that's our visual representation that when you destroy this debris now, you're going to be getting the seed. Yeah, and see there I got one redwood seed. It's got a placeholder icon until I get that in. But yep, so that's how you'll do the tree seeds from now on, which I think is a much better system than we had before.
Right. Should go back and check out the pipe pollution from before.
Oh, sure, yeah. Let's see.
Albert asks, actually, Sakoris asks, can you put plants inside the planter pot now without paying attention to the environment? And I believe that works. You can have kind of placeholder plants now.
Yeah, I believe that was an issue that was fixed, if I'm not mistaken. Hello, mule deer.
Levy asked, any chance for mod support? Yes, we have tons of mods that are already being made for the game. So we're fully mod supporting, and love to support that community. I think it adds a ton of value. Please add is type where options like any rock and any ore to the harvest action, along with the hopefully currently coming any tree, any animal, etc. Yeah, that's something we're going to be doing for 9.0, is having a revamp of the law system where you can have much more specific flexibility as well with how you design the laws. How big is this map? Do you remember? I think it's a kilometer.
Oh wow, it's already killing the plants.
Oh yeah, so you can see here, so this sewage that had been dumping into the environment, it looks like it's stopped now, but it had a pretty quick effect on the surrounding ecosystem here. As you can see, everything's polluted now, and if that's left too long, the plants will die off, and this area will become kind of an eyesore. It can seep down into your farms and things like that. We want to do that. Dumping pollution into the water will make it spread much more as well. So there's kind of disadvantages.
Oh, don't go in there, dear.
Oh no! Don't eat the polluted plants. Yeah. Someone asks, any law that can check if last seen is greater than X? If you're referring to player time, yeah, that's something we're gonna do.
Oh, look at this otter. It's sitting on its back. Let me just zoom in. Oops.
Yes.
Oh no, it rolled over. It's swimming away.
Oh, look at that cuddly guy. Yeah, so otters will actually go in the water and the land. So we have amphibious animals like that. Where did it cut off? Do you guys remember what I was mentioning?
I think we were around showing off pollution doing bad things. We're going to start talking about laws.
Yeah. Yeah, so the law system in 9.0 is going to be add a lot more flexibility into how you can govern these things. Von Manspleer asks if you can harvest otters. You are a monster, sir. Look how cute that thing is. But yeah, I imagine they ought to give you some pretty sweet pelts.
Yes, you can harvest the otters.
Do we have that hooked up yet?
Have what hooked up? The otters?
The pelts.
I'm not sure. We have pelt items.
Yeah, because it might cause a crash if you don't have a harvestable item set up right now.
The Snoof asks, will there be player health at any point? So right now we're just going with calories. We don't have a health per se. That is something we've thought about in terms of like fleshing out the nutrition system, making a full-fledged like health system. Oh, you bounced it off his horns. Oh, he ducked.
Wow, he's too smart for us.
I'm specifically aiming for the horns, so I imagine. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's funny. Will animals ever become roadkill when you hit them with a vehicle as another form of rubbish?
They absolutely should.
I mean,
I think if you run into an animal with the vehicle, we should do something with that.
Yeah. Maybe if it's an elk, it destroys the vehicle instead, though.
Right.
Or like a bison. That would mess up your cart more than it would
absolutely.
that bison. Retakan Sleary asks, are you going to make this easier to approach for the younger players? We want it to be pretty approachable for everybody without like reducing the levels of complexity you can do. So I think you can kind of like younger players could play in a more building sense while still kind of getting a sense and like learning how the deeper simulations work. So yeah, it's something we consider, and just making the game accessible for everybody. Having like tutorials and new user experience, all that stuff's really great for just keeping the community growing, keeping the community able to welcome in new people well. Any way to breed animals coming up? That's something we've talked about, is having animal like domestication, but nothing we have right now. Like this new desert biome just feels so different.
These are some new agave plants.
These are cool.
I think the items are in, but wait until it's more polished.
Mr. Atch asks details on bank accounts and economy changes in general. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, is that so bank accounts and titles are going into the game, and titles you can use for permissions. So you can make a government title like Ministry of Transportation and make a specific bank account that only they can access, and then have taxes that go into that bank account. So you're going to have a lot more flexibility in like how funds are distributed, who has access to them, and your ability to set that all up. And that's something we're going to keep building on as we get into 9.0 as well. But we will have registrars, which is an object where you create titles, and the bank object, which is an object where you create bank accounts. And each of those will have kind of 2 levels of permission. So you could have like a manager of a bank account who can decide who's able to access it, and then you have users of the bank account who are able to withdraw and add funds to it. So adding the like flexibility in there will just let you have more complex societies, basically. Is agave food or tequila?
It's both. We don't have alcohol in the game right now, so you can't make tequila, but we support modding.
Yes, you just sold 1 copy. Awesome. Does the government system only work for SLG players? No, the government is for everybody. It's like you start your own server, you build your own government. The players are the ones managing that. Are ships on the list? It would be nice to have a small coaster to go from one island to another. Definitely not in 8.0, but we actually do have some ship models that we built. We need to set those up. So transport overseas is going to be maybe a great addition to these new biomes, so you can get to access new resources really easily.
Definitely.
Game needs termites to eat wood houses. That would be cool, actually.
That'd also make me really sad, but
Yeah. I would love to see like abandoned houses that just kind of get reclaimed by nature.
Yeah.
What are partial bricks? I don't know what that
Partial
is.
bricks. That might be something that's a stopgap.
Somebody digging
somebody
into
came
our
up with-
staging code.
for the tech tree, but I don't think that those are supposed to be in the game. They might be, but
Gotcha. Oh, can you tell us about the helicopter in this one?
the helicopter.
No helicopter, unfortunately.
Yeah, we don't have that yet. It's not a bad idea for a vehicle for this world, though. Voxel world, helicopter goes pretty well together. So, someday.
Does the skill overhaul flesh out fishing so it is useful past early game? I believe we should have some new talents for that. So as you upgrade fishing, and you can kind of choose your specialties in there. I'll have to confirm that though. But yeah, fishing is one of the primary resources, especially as we add boats. I think that'll become more and more important. Is water always going to apply that weird distorted filter no matter what depth? Well, for the foreseeable future, I mean, it would be cool to adjust that, but it's all just a matter of, prioritizing stuff. But I think this update, you're going to see a lot of new changes to water and pumps in general.
Yeah, I think when we were focusing more on the underwater biome, we kind of look at things as we get to them. So we'll definitely be adding more to those biomes, and I'll want you to be able to see it. So
Yep. Yeah, so maybe we call that a stream for now. And thanks for coming by, everybody. And we're always in Discord, so feel free to message us in there, and we're happy to answer your questions. And look forward to some more streams later. We're going to start sharing this build out with some streamers, so you can kind of see them getting used to it and trying out the new stuff. And look forward to getting this all out to you. Cool. Thanks a lot, guys.
thanks for
See ya.
tuning in.
yep.